I want to transition to some other corruption right now because new details are emerging about the FBI's involvement in this plot, remember last year, to kidnap Michigan Governor Gretchen Whitmer. So the group accused of the plot claims the FBI orchestrated every aspect of the plan. And BuzzFeed has this article out, at least 12 confidential FBI informants, 12, assisted in this investigation into this extremist group, and some acting under the direction of the FBI. They took leading roles in the scheme. This Iraq war veteran, he was an informant, and he became so deeply enmeshed in this Michigan militant group that he became second in command there. And this longtime government informant from Wisconsin actually paid for the hotel rooms and for dinners just to get people to join this alleged plot. And this undercover FBI agent known as Red, he advised this militia group where to place the explosives, which they said were fake. And then there's the lead FBI special agent, this Richard Trask figure. He was the public face of this Whitmer case. Now, he was just arrested after being accused of jumping on his wife in bed and smashing her head against the wall. And this was over a dispute stemming from a swingers party. Quality people. So, Glenn, the people that are accused of this kidnap plot are claiming they were entrapped. Obviously, that's what they're going to claim. Anybody would claim that in a situation like this. But BuzzFeed's reporting that there's like twice as many FBI agents involved in this plot than there were plotters. Does this raise any suspicions with you?
It raises a lot, and I'll tell you why. I regard what the Biden administration is currently doing as the second war on terror, but this one is focused domestically at American citizens instead of at foreign organizations. But the tactics being used are very similar to the ones used in the first war on terror. And I've reported, Jesse, I don't know, on a dozen cases or so, very similar as part of the first war on terror, where the FBI would boast in this flamboyant way that they had broken up some dangerous plot being formulated and about to be implemented by American Muslims. And every time you looked, every time, it turned out that the people who designed the plot, who came up with the idea of where to attack, who funded the operation, were FBI informants or FBI agents. They were embedded all the time in these plots, not just in a way that they learned about them and then infiltrated, but that they actually manufactured and orchestrated them. And the question for me was always, if it's really such a grave threat, this threat of domestic Muslim terrorism, why does the FBI keep having to create its own plots? Why aren't they finding ones that they themselves aren't orchestrating? And that's the same question that I have here. If it's true that, as they're now saying, that anti-government right-wing groups or domestic extremist groups are the greatest threat to national security, which is what Biden and the intelligence community are saying, greater than ISIS or Al-Qaeda or anyone else or China or Russia, why do they need to go and manufacture a plot and put in people's heads the idea, let's go kidnap Governor Whitmer? There should be tons of plots that they should be detecting. And that's what leads to then the question that people on your network, Darren Beatty at Revolver News, and others have asked, to the horror of the liberal sector of the corporate media, which is, well, what did the FBI know about the planning of the January 6th attack? How embedded were they in these groups? Because what happens is when these kinds of attacks happen, the FBI and the security state seizes on them to say, do you see there's these grave dangers? We need more money. We need more power. We need more surveillance authorities in order to keep you safe. And so if they're the ones driving it, it leads to the question of what those motives are.
Right. Is it about the headlines, or are they actually disrupting real and imminent plots?